And what was the most important thing about getting shots like this when the lightning and the storms are all coming together, but you're not sure about what to do next and how to get from point A to point B? So real briefly, I wanted to point out there's one thing, and it's always planning. Sure, there are storms, and it's hard to find out where storms are going to be and where they're going. But the biggest thing that you can do is actually know where you're going to be shooting from, especially if you live in a certain area. Planning for the shot has probably been the biggest thing that I've done that has enabled me to get better as a photographer. By planning, what I mean is knowing where to go. If you know that there are a lot of storms in an area, knowing a place like this on Scenic Drive, that you can actually come up to this spot in a very short amount of time. You can get up here, have a really great vista of the downtown skyline, and boy, that sunset is really pretty. It's kind of cold, but knowing that you can do that well in advance of a storm, then all you need to do is, as soon as that storm pops up, and if you see it on radar, like I did that morning, coming up and over from the, I don't know what those mountains are called in Juarez, Mexico, but knowing that that storm was going north, I knew that I had some time to drive here, and it took me about 20 minutes to get there. But when I got here, I already knew where I was going, what I was planning on, and all I needed at that point were for the bolts to drop. Like I said, planning the shot is number one, and I'm only going to focus on planning the shot on this episode, since this is episode 2, just because it is so important to, for me as a photographer, when I'm talking about local photography. For me, being able to plan the shot and actually knowing when I'm in Tucson or when I'm in Rio Rico, all I need to do, I have so many places that on my GPS I have driven to, and just at random I'll find a spot, something like this in Tucson. Boy, that sunset really is pretty. But I'll find a spot, and what I'll do is I'll mark it on my GPS, on my Google Maps, and I'll create a waypoint, just basically a GPS location, and I'll title it. And so I have hundreds of those in and around southern Arizona that I've collected over the last 3 years. And if I know that a storm is coming into a certain, or is moving towards a certain direction, oftentimes I'll only have to do is pull up my Google Maps and find that waypoint of an overlook or a really wide open expanse without power lines, right? Or without anything that's going to be obstructing the view, or, you know, a restaurant sign or something, power lines, restaurants, anything that you just don't want in your picture. And you can plan that shot by doing that well in advance. Oftentimes I get most of my locations in the summertime just because I'm driving around, going to a party or whatever it might be, and I'll find that spot and I'll tell myself, I need to mark this location, because next time I'm out here, if I see a storm going to that towards that location, what I'll do is I'll plot, like I said, I'll plot that in the map and just drive. Not have to worry about anything else, not have to worry about radar at the time. I already know that the storm is moving that direction. So that's when I will just plot it on the map, get to the point that I want to. I can set up for a shot like this. And again, that is really quite a fantastic sunset over the El Paso skyline right now. And even like that, even though we don't have storms right now, you can just sit back and enjoy this like the dozens of people that are here right now at any given time. So this is just one example, but again, always plan your shots. We'll cover other things in future episodes, but right now I'm gonna go put my jacket on because it's freaking cold out here. It's still winter time and I don't have my jacket on. But look at this, right? Isn't this beautiful? I'm gonna take some other pictures too that are not video. So plan your shot and mark locations where you want to go and where you want to get a shot in the future. So that will pan out to be a real successful event if you take those steps. All right, take care, guys. Bye.